So we have discussed about the RTD temperature sensors, which is a very popular one. Another temperature sensor which is also a important is that the thermistor. So thermistor is also a resistance temperature sensor, but its characteristics is nonlinear. These are metal oxides or oxide made of metal oxides. They are of oxides of iron, manganese, magnesium, etc. So basically, these are oxides, metal oxides. They often, several metal oxides have got some semiconductor properties also. So we can say they have got certain semiconductor properties also. And as a result, there are their resistance changes, but mostly in a different way than the metal resistance changes. But we can say the major features of this thermistors are high sensitivity, next is that low time constant, we have seen the RTD has to be used inside a well, and the thermal well has got some mass of the thermal mass of it, so the time constant is significant. I would not say here there, no, maybe a few seconds or one like this there. But here we can achieve the thermistors. They can be used as bare thermistors can be used, and they are basically it would be in order of milliseconds. And but highly nonlinear characteristics. This is one problem what we have. Thermistor is a high sensitivity, very fast response, but it has got very high nonlinear characteristics. Often it is used, uh, often it is used for measurement of small temperature variation, but where we require a, say, suppose a body temperature variation or like this there, but where you require a good amount of sensitivity. But I would, one more thing is also there, uh, that, okay, that point I will discuss it afterwards. But what is the high sensitivity? This part, how does it compare with RTD? I can give you one example. The sensitivity of a 2000 ohm platinum RTD at 25 degrees Celsius is equal to 7 ohm per degree Celsius. That means a platinum RTD whose resistance is 2000 ohm at 0 degrees Celsius, rather it is 25 degrees Celsius. So around that one, it is actually 7 ohm, it changes by 7 ohm by centigrade, like this. Why? The sensitivity of a NTC, I will clarify this NTC afterwards, thermistor, which is also a 2000 ohm NTC thermistor at 25 degrees Celsius. It is approximately 80 ohm per degree Celsius. So naturally you can see the thermistors are almost 10 times more sensitive to temperature. So naturally, it finds some good use for the to be a very delicate instrument where it can detect very small variation of change in temperature. But another thing is also there, NTC thermistor I will explain, but and also thermistor are not replaceable. What do you mean? Obviously, anything we use it and thermistor goes wrong, we need to replace it. But what we mean that if we want to replace by another thermistor, it needs recalibration. After replacement. So thermistors are in general not as a RTD because it's a platinum one. If you produce 100 platinum RTDs, you will find their characteristics and their resistance and all the things are identical. You can easily, or even thermocouple also will see, you can replace it. But this is one negative point of this problem of the thermistor because no two thermistors are exactly identical. There is always some difference in the value of resistance, its sensitivity, and etc. And that's why if we want to replace it, you must also recalibrate it after replacement. Otherwise, it will not be able to give you correct readings there. But we can easily understand the major thermistors here is that very small size. Okay, I have not mentioned the high sensitivity and also the small size. Okay, I think this I can make it 5 and we can say it's a small size. You can have it because we are thermocouple, just like a bit, you can use it almost invisible. Sometimes you can have it. Now, what are the different types of thermistors we can have it? Actually, thermistors are different types are available. One which is more popular is called NTC thermistor. These are basically the NTC means negative temperature coefficient. These are most popular one, but we'll see afterwards that other types of thermistors are also available. So what is the NTC thermistor characteristics? It is the temperature. This is your R. I would put it rather in not small t, but it's capital, and I put it as, and this is a inverse characteristics that is here. Inverse characteristics, and that's why it is so nonlinear. And it is the characteristics are is given by RT is equal to RT1 e to the power beta into 1 by T minus 1 by T1, where RT is the resistance at T degree Kelvin. and similarly RT1 at T1 Kelvin. So if T1 is known and RT1 is known, and then RT is given by this one, and the beta value is often, we can find out, but approximately beta value is around 4000 we have it. Okay. So in this case, uh, this is the platinum A there. It is, I mean, sorry, NTC thermistor. It has got a nonlinear. So it's a, you can see it, its sensitivity is very high, change is abrupt, and that's why you can change, detect a very small variation of temperature. And in this case also, if we express it in terms of resistance temperature coefficient, uh, it is basically, if we alpha is equal to dRT dt by RT, you can solve it and find out. This is equal to given by minus beta divided by T square. So these are the resistive temperature coefficient, and if we compare it with a RTD. So what we can see here is the negative temperature resistive temperature coefficient, and as a result the resistance decreases with distance. There are also some other forms of expressions to denote the thermistor characteristics. These are if it is other form of expressions, uh, to denote NTC, they can sometimes they are expressed in this form: RT is equal to e to the power A plus of B divided by T plus of C divided by Q. These are all power of it. Sometimes also they are expressed as 1 by T is equal to small a plus small b log natural RT plus of C log natural RT whole cube. So often, whatever may be the way we just see, but this is the most popular one, but you can see they are all nonlinear, and that is a important thing. The thermistors is a nonlinear, though the sensitivity is high there. But you can easily, two features we can see, that sensitivity is low and it is the characteristics of the thermistor, NTC thermistor is negative. I will. This is a, so another problem with the thermistor, which is more common and difficult here also, the self-heating effect. What is your self-heating effect? You can understand this one, that okay, given a resistance, what do? We measure the resistance by a multimeter. What is a multimeter? We pass some current through it and measure a voltage there. Okay. Now, for thermistor, if we try to, it is always first of all cautious for using a thermistor is that don't measure its resistance directly using a multimeter. Why? This is your thermistor, and if we try to connect a multimeter there and try to pass some current, it may happen the thermistor, so due to this resistance there would be some heat generation, but the heat dissipation capacity may be less because you don't know what is its current carrying capacity, what is the limit. So this current which is passing through it, it is more. So what will happen? The heat dissipation or the heat generated is more than the heat dissipation. So what will happen if the heat dissipation is less than the heat generated? What will happen? The temperature will rise. And if the temperature rises, what will happen? The resistance again reduces. And this is a cumulative effect. So if the resistance reduces, again, because we are passing some current, this current may increase because if it is a voltage source there, and if the current increases, or rather if the resistance reduces, you can say if it is a voltage source or like this, so it will be increasing the heat generation. And in this way, it is a cumulative effect. The thermistor may get damaged because you don't know what is the current carrying capacity of the thermistor. So it is always advisable, if it is given a thermistor, you want to measure its resistance. It is always advisable to connect a series fixed resistance with it and then measure. Then in that case, the current through the thermistor will not go up unrestricted. I hope it is clear. And then we will show you, but still then this self-heating error, the self-heating effect will give you considerable error in measurement. What is it? Just let's see the self-heating effect or error. So just an example, I just put it like this there. I connect a 3.5 K A there, fixed resistance, and I connect a thermistor of RTH and the voltage V0 here, and here it is plus 10 volt. That means I am connecting that 3.5 K this fixed resistance and this RTH, that is the thermistor, and measuring the voltage. And let the thermistor specification is 3.5 kilo ohm at 25 degrees Celsius. Slope, instead of writing all the things, the alpha, beta and all other things there, I say it is the resistance changes by minus 10% of the present value per degree Celsius. So it is thermistor is also 3.5 K at 25 degrees Celsius, and it changes by 10% for per degree Celsius. And we say that dissipation constant is equal to 5 milliwatt per degree Celsius. That means that if one temperature of the thermistor increases by 1 degree Celsius, its dissipation power also increasing by 1 degree Celsius, because the dissipation power depends upon again on the heat transfer coefficient, and this depends upon, and also the temperature difference between the thermistor wears and also the ambient temperature. So I assume that this, if the temperature changes by 1 degree Celsius, this dissipation power also changes by 5 degree Celsius. So I am right now at 25 degrees Celsius. I am Right now I am at 25 degree Celsius. Then, so what will be the apparently this is 3.5 K, this is 3.5 K, the V0 is equal to 5 volt because it is equally distributed between plus 10 volt and to this one. But what we can say, then the power dissipated. So the power dissipated in thermistor is equal to 5 square divided by RTH. So this will be, this RTH is equal to your in 30 is equal to 3.5 K at 25 degrees Celsius. This comes to be is equal to 7.1 milliwatt. Okay. So we can say dissipation constant is 5 milliwatt, and here it is power dissipated in the thermistor is 7.5 milliwatt. Definitely it is more than this one, so naturally there would be some temperature rise. Is equal to what we will have, 7.1 millivolt divided by 5 millivolt. So this will cause you 1.42 degrees Celsius. If it is 1 point, so that means the thermistor temperature now it becomes is equal to 26.42 degrees Celsius. Because it was 25, now the temperature has become, due to this self-heating, it has become to be 26.42. So your RTG, so new RTH, that means what is the new RTH? The thermistor resistance. We know that this has got a minus of 10% of this slope there. So that means is equal to 3.5 K into 1 minus of 1.42 into 0.1. And this comes to be is equal to 3.0 kilo ohm. So you see, initially it was at 3.5 kilo ohm, but due to the self-heating, it has become 3.0 kilo ohm. So the new V0, what is it? Now it is 3 divided by 3 plus 3.5 into 10 volt. Here it comes to be is equal to 4.61 volt. So naturally, you will see without anything, I have just connected, kept everything in 25 degrees Celsius, but because this voltage is rather high, and what happened is that in this case, what will happen? The voltage V0, it should have been half of this one, 5 volt, but here it is 4.61 volt, it has dropped down, which will cause considerably, if we want making some circuit and like this, it will cause considerable error in it. And of course, I have shown you the first iteration. You can go for this one for the second iteration also, and may find that again this with this 3 kilo ohm and 4.61 volt, what is the power dissipations, and this way it can go on like this. But finally, if your choice of this series resistance even is wrong or the voltage is too high, the way it will go, the thermistor temperature go higher and higher and higher till it is burnt out. So we must be very careful about using a thermistor, or handling a thermistor. Is it okay? Any question? So last topic today would be, okay, before this one, I would rather, I would say that it is thermistors are different types. I have only considered and talked about the NTC thermistors, but there are certain interesting applications and other types of thermistors as well, which are give you some more interesting applications. What are they? This is one is called PTC thermistor. Obviously, it is there. From the name itself, we can understand what is the meant by PTC. It is positive temperature coefficient thermistor. So thermistors not mostly they are negative temperature coefficient thermistor. That is, with temperature resistance decreases, but positive temperature, because they are a positive temperature coefficient, thermistors are also there, and very interesting uses are also there for them. So what is their characteristics? This is very interesting. Up to a temperature Tc, that is a critical point, the resistance remains almost constant or decreases slowly there. But after a critical temperature, Tc is increased or increases abruptly like this there. And this is normally the material is barium titanate. Okay. So what is its application? It is application is in transformer protection. What is transformer protection? You must have seen big transformers. I am not saying small roadside transformers, but those transformers which are used in substations or big substations or like this, 220 volt, 400 kV or more like this. Often they are of few MVA, MVA transformers, big size like this. And transformers there are certain winding and oil cooling and different types of coolings are there. But if there is some problem in the winding, or if rather we can say there is some damage in the insulation, there may be a localized heat generation. And that localized heat generation may increase the temperature of the thermistor the transformer, and if it is not prevented, if it is not properly taken care, that may cause the ultimately the bursting of the transformer or a major damage of the thermistor. So any temperature rise of the transformer oil or the winding must be taken care. And if it goes beyond a limiting case, the whole transformer should be shut down, or a tripped, or a relay has to be operated. This can be nicely done using the PTC thermistors, because we can have a particular temperature TC here. Up to this, it's a safe limit. After that, if it goes there, so resistance increases abruptly and sharply like this there, that can be used for tripping some relay circuit. That can be used to tripping and exciting some relay circuit, which will be tripping the transformer and will be complete shutdown of the transformer will be occurring there. So this is one example of the thermistors, another type of PTC thermistor. So don't think that all the thermistors we have are NTC thermistors, some of them PTC thermistors, but the materials are all different. And so different materials are coming and different characteristics are also here. Another one is called Cilister. It is something close to it is also a positive temperature coefficient, but it is non-linear, but the temperature is there. And here it is useful range. Actually, this material, it's a trade name, Cilister. We don't know exactly what is inside, but useful range is minus 60 degrees Celsius to plus of 150 degree Celsius. So we can also use the Cilisters in this manner. Okay. So a typical specification of a thermistor I can write. So typical specification of a NTC thermistor, it is temperature range is minus 100 to plus of 450 degrees Celsius, but it is not a single unit. A single thermistor doesn't have a so large LH. Maybe one it is minus 100 to 0 degree, one maybe 100 to 200 or like this. But broadly speaking, thermistors can be used in this range there. Resistance in the specifications, we always specify it at in 25 degrees Celsius. It could be 1 kilo ohm to 1 mega ohm. So we can have a different 1 kilo ohm, 10 kilo ohm, 20 kilo ohm, up to 1 mega ohm like this there. And beta value, it can vary from 2000 to 5500, but normally it is 4000 we just did. Thermal time constant is basically 1 millisecond to 22 seconds. That means we can, by designing, we can make it very small size by 1 millisecond, but also it is possible to make it uh, slower, 22 seconds also we can have it. And it is dissipation factor, as I have told it, dissipation constant it is 1 milliwatt per Kelvin in steel air, and 8 milliwatt per Kelvin in oil, because it depends upon the heat transfer coefficient of this one there. And resistance values are always specified at 25 degree Celsius. Obviously, there could be a lot of variance of these things also there. Okay, I stop here. Next day I will be discussing about uh, we have gone through this one, but the linearization of the thermistors, because we have already seen that the thermistors has got a very nonlinear characteristics. So naturally handling this one characteristics will give you uh, error in measurements. So how to make it more linear or etc. There are linearization of thermistor characteristics. We will try to see some of the schemes there. So I complete here. Uh, if you have any questions, you may ask me. Any questions? But please be prepared for next Tuesday's class test, and please submit all the tutorials, tutorial 2 problems before the deadline. And if
So
you
the
have
syllabus.
any questions, you can ask me about the difficulty in solving on Thursday tutorial class. Yes, Saurabh, what you are telling?
So the syllabus for the class test is up to RTD, right?
Up to RTD, not
Okay,
Thursday.
sir.
Okay. Is it all right? Any other issue?
Sir,
Any other?
in that design example which you discussed today,
Uh,
uh, sir, if the temperature range which we are going to be measuring is also limited now by that. If alpha t is greater than p plus one or equivalent to p plus one, that is also one of the constant.
alpha t is greater than t plus 1. I couldn't understand.
P is that bridge arm ratio. So in the denominator, we have the term, right? P plus 1 plus X. So
Uh,
X should be smaller than P plus 1, then only the circuit will be linear.
that's right. What we said is that what we had, possibly you mean to say like this, that I have put it simply like this. Forget about the design example, or like this. I put R into 1 plus X. And we have seen that this E0 is equal to what is there? E into X divided by 2 into 2 plus X. If you recall, you will be able to find out this is a area. So the point is that what is it that x, for x is less than, and what is we are noting less than 0.1, we can say is safely that it is a linear characteristics E by 4 into x. But the question, if it is not less than 0.1, that means here it is already the x value is much more than this one. Normally, if we'll see also in the strain gauge bridge and like this, the x is very small. Often we have the x is very small. But it is not the case of RTD, because we know the platinum RTD, I have already told, if it is R at 0 is equal to 100 ohm, R at 100 degrees Celsius is equal to 139 ohm. So that means what is the value of X? The change in resistance is actually 0.39. X is equal to 0.39 there. So naturally, it is not, you cannot neglect this point 1. That means X is very small and see it, and it will cause you a considerable amount of nonlinearity. What we could do it, we have shown it by making it higher bridge arm ratio, we could reduce it considerably. Is it clear, Saurabh?
Sir, yes, sir. Sir, what I was telling is that
Oh.
had we been given the temperature range we are supposed to measure, then we would not have arbitrarily chosen the value of R1 in that design example. Means we have used this constraint for choosing the ratio.
Because that's right, but your more important constraint is that heat dissipation factor. As I have told it in terms of thermistor, that heat dissipation should be limited. It is also true, maybe thermistor will cause you damage, but it is also true for RTD. It may also give you some error in measurement. That we try to avoid. Okay. Please think of, if you have further queries, you may uh, you may ask me in the next class. But please try to solve the problems and try to go through the notes. Okay, thank you.